Here is my new piston from Vesno. They made specially for me. As you can see, it has a very nice inner side with lots of reinforcements. You see the thin bridges here. They are helping these piston pin ears not to flex, and if they are not flexing, you don't get so much possibility to crack the piston inside. Also, you keep the surfaces against the piston pin with an even wear or no wear at all. So it's looking very nice. The upper side is machined according to what I need for valve clearances, and also with taking away a lot of material in the middle to keep the combustion chamber large enough to lower the compression ratio down to 14:1. This has been made by my good friend at Husaberg Mekaniska. So now I have the nice delivery, the nice things, and a good cup of coffee. So now I'm getting started. So the new piston and the new liner is in place. I forgot to mention that I used to sandblast or with glass the upper part of the piston to make the surface a little bit rougher. That makes the suit adhere a little bit better and if you get a thin layer of soot on the top of the piston, you don't get so much heat transfer down to the piston and onwards to the rod and the cylinder walls. So that might be a good thing to take care of when you start assembling your own. In order to check what valve to piston clearance you got, I usually do the normal clay test. You put clay inside the valve pockets, like this, and then you put the cylinder head on and turn the motor around at least two full turns. And then you check how much dent or mark you have made from the valves in the clay. So when you have put in the clay, you turn the motor in its normal direction for, let's say, one, and 2 rounds. Then we'll open up and see what the clearances are. Now you can see that the clay has marks from the valves, and you can use one of these. Well, my German friends call it Schiebleere. And you just make a mark and measure the thickness of the clay. 1.60 millimeters, 1.5, and the squish about 1 millimeter. And I have measured here on the exhaust. They need a little bit more room, so they've got like 2.5 millimeters, both axially and radially. So that is really important to check that you have these clearances before you assemble your engine. So, like you see, we're back on track again. The head has been found its original location. The cam timing is adjusted and all set. You can see here the front, there is a flange for the exhaust with normal steel pipes coming out to take care of the vibrations and wear. You can see also here the Hall sensor for the cam positioning. like this, and there you have the intake. I guess with this large intake I get an excessive amount of money spent on paper covering up. And on top here you have the crank ventilation coming out, and you see the lubrication for the cams, and I'm taking the oil coming out from here. It's from the same channel as it was up to 2004, I guess. All right, so now it's back in the frame and off for the dyno.